What's going on, everyone? This is Adam and Craig with Grandstand Golf. In the show, we're talking our round 2 DFS Showdown targets for the ZOZO Championship. We did a round 1 recap that you can see on our YouTube channel as well. It's a little bit longer if you want to go more in depth with the top of the leaderboard, some notables, some good stories from the first day. But now we're just talking pure PGA DFS.
Yeah, let's get into it.
All right, so my picks, I'm starting with Patrick Cantlay. So we kind of talked about him on our Twitch show on Wednesday, and I think we were both hesitant about where his game is at. And I feel like with both my first 2 picks, I saw enough that I think they're turning around with both Cantlay and Scheffler. But Cantlay came out 67, 5 birdies, no bogeys. Love to see that clean scorecard. He was 9th in strokes gained tee to green, 48th in strokes gained putting. So something I think he can improve upon in round 2. We know he's a great ball striker when he is on his game, though. So I'm not concerned about the 9th. I think that's kind of where he is with his ball striking.
Yeah, I agree. And, a few of my picks are similar where I liked what I saw from people in terms of their ball striking on Thursday. Yeah. And I thought that there were opportunities for better scoring based on their putting. So, I totally like this pick.
So, yeah, I've been waiting for signs of form from Cantlay, and I feel like I've seen it now. I'm going all in on him for round 2.
Push her in.
Scottie Scheffler is my second pick at 8,600 on DraftKings. A little bit of a different round 1. 6 birdies, 1 bogey, but he does sit at 67th with Patrick Cantlay. Really nice tee to green game. He's 3rd in round 1, 61st in strokes gained putting. So again, that putting should be able to improve in round 2. These guys, it's their first tournament, first look on this course. So hopefully these more talented guys will be able to kind of clean that up in round 2. But we have 5 par 5s for scoring opportunities. Scheffler is only 2 under through the par 5. So I think there's more scoring opportunities that he can capitalize on. So I really like him for Friday.
Yeah, I mentioned on our recap show that the way he was striking the ball and the fact that he wasn't gaining anything putting, he could go very low tomorrow. You have to, we've been a little bit hesitant on him coming out of the COVID diagnosis, and to me, it's promising. So.
Yeah, we both, I feel like, tried to be early on him, but I think
we were trying to be early, and then felt like, okay, maybe we're too early. Maybe we need to see this. But yeah, I like it.
My third pick, Brendon Todd, one of my sleepers going in. He's still 7,100 on DraftKings. He had an interesting round 1, ended up 69, but he had 7 birdies, which is tied for 8th in the field, and 4 bogeys, which is tied for 71st. So he's kind of all over the place, but the birdies is really encouraging. And the thing to take away with the 4 bogeys is typically he's very good at bogey avoidance. He's so he's 23rd last year. He is just kind of a hit the fairway, hit the green, one of the best putters in the world. I think he was just above average today, but he should be in the top 5 in strokes gained putting. So I would look for that to improve as well from him, just because he is that good at putting.
Yeah, and from what we are seeing in this course, there's birdies to be had, but it's also easy to make mistakes. And his first round shows us that. But typically he is pretty good at taking mistakes and still salvaging pars. So if he can continue to get that many birdies, then I like his chances.
Yeah, exactly.
So let's jump into mine here. I feel a little bad with this Justin Thomas pick because I had already put this in here before he was through. Maybe he was like -2 at the time, and I'm a little bit, how I hate to get the ownership too crazy.
But you're just going to own this chalk. You're just going to go for it.
Yeah, to me, maybe it's a little bit like Xander last week, where we see him come out with a really good round 1, and then he just goes even lower, even at high ownership on Friday. We spoke on the recap show. Does the fact that he plays late on Thursday and early on Friday, is he able to carry some of that momentum into his round tomorrow morning?
Right.
I don't know, but when Justin Thomas is playing like he is right now, I want to get on there. Yeah, so he was 36 and then 29 on the back. He's gained over 4 strokes tee to green.
Yeah.
And then the last thing, we have 5 par 5s on this course. You look back over the last 3 seasons, his worst he has finished is tied for third. He's tied for third, first, and tied for third in par 5 scoring. So there's just so many reasons to like JT this.
I love JT. I mean, I feel like I talked about him on our Twitch show. I have him for the week-long contest, which I'm really happy about. But I plugged him into my showdown lineup for tomorrow, and then I actually had a little bit extra cash, so I went up to John Rahm just because if Justin Thomas gets to 45% ownership around there and Rahm's at 25, I feel like they can it's still a toss-up about who is a better round. But JT showed us some really nice things coming in today.
Yeah, and I think if you are going to go to JT, you have to look for other places. Like you have to find some low-owned, some people who are going to be under 5% for sure that you get into.
Yeah, you can't plug in the Kisners and the Munos. Yeah. You gotta diversify. Yeah.
Now, so Sungjae, who's my next pick here, he was 68 -4 on Thursday. To me, he's in that sweet spot. He was -4. He's not going to be high enough up the leaderboard that it's like, oh man, Sungjae's playing really well this week. But he is hitting the ball well. Just like we spoke about with Cantlay, he's hitting the ball well, and he's leaving. He left opportunities out there in the first round putting. Yeah. So I just think that if he can gain 3 strokes tee to green and to just have a tiny bit more, maybe luck, maybe things fall his way, maybe he just makes putts, whatever you want to call it, a tiny bit more of an advantage putting. And, Sungjae's not a bad putter, so there's no reason to expect that he's going to be like this. Right. It's not like it's Hideki where you're like, okay, like mine's one that's about average. And then, so Sungjae, I think I was looking at the people around him, and I think there might be a bit of an opportunity for low ownership. We've got Scheffler and Wolf just above him, as 2 guys above him. And then just below him, we've got Tiger, who always attracts more ownership than he should. But then we've got Hovland, Answer, and Neiman are all within a few hundred right below him. And all those guys... Answer will be popular. Answer will be popular. He came in at -5. People like him in showdowns typically. So... Maybe it's Sungjae just won't have the ownership that he otherwise would. So maybe it's just a little bit of a sweet spot.
Yeah, I was wrestling putting Sungjae in, and then I saw you did. So he's one of my boys. He's an official one of my boys. I love Sungjae. So yeah, I like it.
Last one here, Russell Henley. So this was another one where I was a little bit worried that he had a lip out, I want to say it was on 17 or 18, that he would have been a little bit more obvious on the leaderboard if he had got in one lower. I was looking through stats. He's actually, so JT, Justin Thomas, was number 1 for the full 2019-2020 season for strokes gained. But if from this point backwards, you look at either 3 months back, 6 months back, or 12 months back, Russell Henley's number 1 in strokes gained approach, just because of how good he's been since the end of the 2020 season.
Wow, so better than JT, better
like
than
just
Morikawa.
Barely better than JT. Like,
wow.
But at first I was like, oh, like it's 3 months. Like obviously he's just been hot, but then you like keep looking back and you're like, oh, like this is pretty legit. And
that's a good stat. I like that.
Strokes gained approach is one of those ones. I mean, we spoke about it going into this tournament that it's good for this course, but it's also one of those ones that to me is a great showdown stat because when you're throwing daggers and you're making putts, it just means so much, so many scoring opportunities. And like we spoke about with Sungjae and with Cantlay, he was great tee to green and he left strokes out there putting. So I just think there's opportunities for him to go lower.
And I feel like a better price than he was for tournament long. So I don't know if he came down a little bit, but I feel like he was potentially overpriced because of his recent performance. But that seems more about right. I like that price for Henley.
Yeah, I suspect he's going to get a lot of ownership, though. So you might not want to have JT and Henley, or if you do, then find some other places to diversify.
Yeah. Quickly recapping from mine, I got Patrick Cantlay 8,900, Scottie Scheffler 8,600, and Brendon Todd at 7,100 on DraftKings.
And I've got JT at 10,000, Sungjae Im at 8,300, and Russell Henley at 7,600.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. As we mentioned, we have a round one recap, so make sure to watch that as well on YouTube. Please like and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate it. And good luck for the rest of the week.
Good luck, guys. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.